Good afternoon, everyone. I am on here because I want to talk about this opinion piece by the Guardian. It was written by Marina Hyde, and the title is Will Close Pals Rally Around Dan Wootton as he faces down catfishing allegations? He'd want that surely, right? I mean, I've been seeing tweets, and and other so-called professionals has been supporting him, stating that they believe him, but are they going to rally around him to support him as this story continue to push um, stronger into the mainstream media? There were a couple of paragraphs that I read in this particular article that had me thinking, whoa, this is crazy, and there should be more people writing these stories. Okay. It started out with her pretty much focusing on that dry arse monologue that Dan Wootton put out there. And then it states, all in all, the spectacle of Dan Wootton beginning for nonce and empathy is the heart death of irony. The two crucial things about people like Dan is that they are, without exception, monstrous hypocrites. And they also reduce the world. Their entire business is making human experience smaller, which is true. There are about 6 or 7 basic story templates into which they believe all other people's lives must be squeezed, whether or not they want them to be. So to find the high priest of the reductive suddenly asking for an acknowledgement of complexity feels a little much. And then I also saw on Twitter that he's asking for donations. He's asking people to support him just in case this go to trial. This man is crazy. Okay, others, it should be said, are asking for different things. The Sun is asking its staff to contact its lawyers if they have any information about the very serious claims, and not to talk to any journalists. According to Mail Online, is also looking into the claim BS. Do you really think they're really looking into this? Come on now. That's just something just to distract people. They're not looking into this. I mean, they're not even writing about it. They're not even talking about it. Why are they looking into it? Come on, let's be real. The others, it should be said, are asking for different things. The Sun is asking the staff. Oh, I already went over that. Okay, next paragraph. Are they part of the dark forces? Wootton railed at when he cast the whole business as an attempt to cancel GB News for being the biggest threat to the establishment in decades. To make it super simple for Dan, GB News is not anti-establishment. It is a London telly channel owned by a hedge funder and its investment firm. The deputy chairman of the governing Conservative Party is one of its presenters, as it is recently knighted former cabinet minister, whose father was a long-serving editor of the Times. So it's all connected. They're all in cahoots. Amusingly, though, the Wootton story was seized on by someone soon to present his own show on GB News, John Cleese. The mainstream press must check into this, stated Cleese, declaring that failure to do so would be final proof of their complete corruption. Will John's own fearless new employer check it out? Or is Cleese himself one of the nefarious players trying to cancel Dan? A lot of threads yet to unravel, it must be said. The tabloids' disinclination to report on the story thus far means coverage is not coming as thick and fast as it did when, say, Dan was obsessively pursuing ITV over Philip Schofield's affair with a much younger colleague, or indeed when his GB News co-hosts were ranting round the clock about BBC and Hugh Edwards, only for Wootton to react to the news of Edwards' hospitalization with a poll asking, "Is this crisis of BBC? Is this a crisis of BBC making?" Yeah, that's something that Dan Wootton would do, and he did. Sad little man, very sad little man, according to Prince Harry in Spare. As we wait for the developments, then perhaps convention demands, we ask, is this current situation a crisis of Dan Wootton's making? I think the answer would have to be, friends, fear so. Fear so. And I agree. I totally agree with Marina Hyde's article in those particular paragraphs. Fear so. I don't think this is going to be swept under the rug, no matter how they're trying to protect him. I think that eventually more people is going to catch on, more people is going to write about the story, and more people is going to want to monetize off of the story. So go to The Guardian to read this article. This was a awesome article. Thank you, The Guardian. Thank you for being strong and fearless and writing about the story, although I feel that they should have written more. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take whatever they're bringing. Thank you for listening to Optimistic Fletcher. Have a good evening.